What's going on, Master Duel fans? James here again. When it comes to PvP matches that are not VTuber showdowns, I figured it's time for a unique deck showcasings in terms of to each of one's own perspective views in a best 2 out of 3 matchups. Throughout the whole entire match series, on one side, on the left, which is me, you have White Forest Sky Striker with the Bamboo Sword engine, taking on my opponents on the right side, and which of course my opponent happens to be one of my good friends and a mentor in terms of helping me out with certain techs that need to get fixed, who goes by the name of Quinn. Shout outs to you on that one. And one of his other guys in terms of the coaches in general, he thought of picking up this entire concept, White Forest Centur-ION featuring the Fiendsmith. And I kid you not, his whole entire concoction deck lists are absurd and brutal. So before we get things started on the deck showcasing of White Forest Sky Striker. So the concept idea with this deck is, of course, for the Sky Striker engine, we are all about nothing but drawing and searching in terms of getting the engages together, bamboo sword pieces together, and then in terms of the draw power outside of Striker and the Bamboo Swords, Rusia happens to be another draw. Sylvie searches. LZ, both LZs do the searching. And then we basically still have the real cards in terms of anchors, shark cannons, aka extensions. And then we basically either A, put up exact or way over lethal, or B, if my opponent have monsters, we still can put up real threats in terms of synchros, the striker links, or even Boros Sword to some degree as one of the most insane link 4 threats. So basically, with this whole entire list, every hand trap that's not Droll Lock, that's not enough. And then for the opponent's deck list, we will actually see it after throughout the whole entire best 2 out of 3 series. Game 1, with this hand, this is absolutely absurd. Hornet Drones. Multi-roll, Curse Sword on the token. Multi-roll, send it. Curse Sword for original. Original on token. Switch for Curse. Token into Shizuku. Curse Sword getting broken. Broken on Shizuku, Golden, Rusia, and Jamming Waves. Set the 1. And then Startup Engage off from Shizuku. And of course, this is the PvP room in terms of based off from real hands. Apparently my opponent is built way too different. LZ Azamina glossed out, Rusia and Wanted all glossed out, which is crazy. Also, I really love it in Master Duel how in TCG land, Fabled Lurie is being seen play in terms of Fiendsmith variants, and yet for some reason in Master Duel, they made this card a common, or well, normal. You guys get the gist. Stand Up, Wanted, Also, should have done one in draw phase for the sake of draw, but I totally get it. Getting the Bell Star. Hold, oh, send, and then, oh, send is not the same as discarded, so, no bonus there. But, nevertheless, stand up for Primera, and then hold, LZ revealed from hand to special Sylvie instead of herself. Where on earth this is gonna go? Sylvie, Primera, and Sylvie getting Tails. Now, in my version of the build, in terms of the White Forest package, as you guys saw the deck list from earlier, I opted not to play Tails because of the first line of text. And because the card simply says that you have to control a spellcaster or an illusion in order for this to work. And most of the times, I literally do not control a spellcaster or an illusion in terms of going first for the sake of this unique setup. Hence why Tails is a completely dead card to me. Primera getting Wake Up, Rusia sending Tails, getting Trudea drawn, Tails, reset button, Moon, Fiendsmith. So Fiendsmith, White Forest, Azamina. Nice. Requiem for Engraver. And of course, Fiendsmith stuff exists now. So a guide to Fiendsmith. You have the Engraver himself, 2 fusions, 2 links, Trat, Saint, and Paradise. Fiendsmith Engraver. Level 6. Actually, I'll just share down the line of the Fiendsmith stuff. The Fiendsmiths are all light fiends. Engraver, level 6, 1800 attack, 2400 defense. You can discard this, add 1 Fiendsmith spell trap from deck to hand. Nice. Target 1 Fiendsmith, equip card you control, and 1 monster anywhere on the field. Send, not destroy, but send to the graveyard. And then if this card is in the graveyard, you can shuffle 1 other light fiend from your graveyard into the deck or extra deck. Special this guy out. Each effect of Engraver once. Spells and traps. Fiendsmith's Trat, hard once. It is your Rhoda of Light Fiend, then discard 1. And while it's in the graveyard, you can banish this from your graveyard, perform a fusion token of a Fiendsmith fusion monster. And basically, it's polymerization of sorts. Fiendsmith's Saint. If you control no face-up monsters, or the only face-ups you control are light fiend monsters, generate a Fiendsmith token, light fiend, level 1, no stats. And turning to this, you cannot declare attacks except fiends. If a face-up Fiendsmith monsters, more than 1, you control, gets killed by opponent's card effect while this is in the graveyard, reset button. Each effect once of Saint, and then each effect of Trat once. Fiendsmith in Paradise. Each effect once. You can target 1 level 7 or higher light fiend monster you control. Doesn't gotta be Fiendsmiths, aka Mastermind Zakio, in terms of magical muskets, as an example. Send all cards, not destroy, but send all cards on the field to the graveyard that are not that monster. Does not target, does not destroy, send, nuke the whole entire board crazy. If your opponent specials a monsters more than one while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this, send one Fiendsmith monster from deck or extra deck to the graveyard, each effect once. And then extra deck, Fiendsmith's Lacrima, level 6, 2400 both ways. Also, in the TCG lands ban list, when the Fiendsmith stuff first came through, TCG literally threw a curve slash offsides, as I call it, when Lacrima was receiving a ban immediately the moment that Fiendsmiths are getting released. And it's due to the fact that time cards is a thing, which is like way past cringe to some degree. 2 Life Fiends to make it all from Lacrima. Debuff opponent's monsters by 600 attack. Each of the following effects once. First chance, Lacrima gets Fusion Shoken. You can target one of your Life Fiend monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, either add it or special it back. Nice. And upon being sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter how it's sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle one other Life Fiend from graveyard into the deck, extra deck, burn your opponent 1200 damage. Fiendsmith's Desiree, level 9, 2800 attack, 2400 defense. Fiendsmith Engraver alongside with 2 Life Fiends to make Desiree. As a quick effect, you can negate the effects of a number of face-up cards anywhere on the field up to the total of link rating of link monsters equal to this until the end of the turn. The more link ratings it has total, the more negates it receives. Does not target, by the way, smile. And if it's sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter how it's sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle one other Light Fiend from graveyard into the deck or extra deck, target one card anywhere on the field, send, not destroy, but send it to the graveyard. Each effect once. Fiendsmith's Requiem, link 1, bottom middle arrow, 600 attack that requires 1 Light Fiend. Once per turn on the special summons. During the main phase, as a quick effect, it is literally Lone Fire Blossom of Fiendsmith in terms of deck, or it can also be specialed from the hand. You can target one light non-link Fiend monster you control, equip this from field or graveyard to that monster with the extra 600 attack. And that equip effect is once. While sequence here is a link to bottom left, bottom right arrows, 1200 attack that takes 2 monsters, including a Light Fiend, and its graveyard effect in terms of light non-link Fiend to hook it up. So basically the 2 fusions or engraver, and once hooked up, it is your anti-target within opponent's card effects. While sequence is on the field specifically, this is your polymerization by shuffling the materials from graveyard into the deck. And that is the coverage of Fiendsmiths. I mean, to be fair, I really didn't think that my guy got the extra deck space for the sake of Barn, but again, crazy concoction there. Barn, Widow Anchor, Barn negate, sending Wake Up for Diabellstar, Diabellstar for Deception. So, White Forest, Fiendsmith, Azamina, Centur-ION, normal Tridea, Flip up Deception. Tribute the LZ Azamina for Hollow Azamina. Hollow Azamina. Azamina Elia Sylvia, aka Dark Sylvie. Shredea placed in back row with Gargoyle. Tails for LZ. Wanted. Put back the Deception. I believe so. Yeah, put back Deception. Drawn into Fulos. LZ and Gargoyle. Summon. Summon, getting LZ Azamina. 400 difference. 3,000. 1,900. Also, when that Gargoyle was summoned, yeah, half it would have been summoned in attack mode. Oh no, it's still not enough damage regardless, so. And then straight up pass. Barn comes back. I have to do this now, as in Blizzard. Elia Sylvia, aka Dark Sylvie, negates Blizzard. Special Primera. Stand up and Primera. Primera for the field spell. Synchro into Barn. Multi-roll attempt. Barn negates. Startup engage. Getting Widow Anchor. Drew into Azamina Apes. Widow Anchor specifically Diabell Star because we need a dark. Normal summon Rusia, drew into Startup Engage, Azamina Apes reset button, Azalea, Azalea kill off field spell, Azalea into Kagari, Kagari gets Startup Engage, Startup Engage for Widow Anchor, drew into another Startup Engage, Startup Engage for Shark Cannon. Drew into Talents. Startup Engage for Shark Cannon. Drew into LZ Azamina. Hand Rip. Fulos. Shark Cannon, the Rusia. Shark Cannon, the LZ. And then Widow Anchor, Barn the floor. Take it. Take the White Forest Girls. Synchro into my own Ursula. Sending Jamming Waves, getting Sylvie. 25, 33, lethal. And then game two, judging by our hands, from my opponent's perspective view, he decided to add in the toy box engine. So what I'm looking at is Fiendsmith, White Forest, Centur-ION, Azamina, toy. So 5 separate engines in a 40 card deck. That's crazy. Toy box. LZ Azamina, special Sylvie. Sylvie for Tails. Toy box. Tank. Soldiers. Tails for Rusia. Rusia free special. Rusia sends soldiers drew into Diabell Star. Toy Soldiers comes out, getting Centur-ION Primera. Toy Tank send for Diabell Star. Tank is Last Thing Happen. Special it out. Diabell Star for Deception. Auxila. Getting Wake Up. Normal Primera. Real Normal. Getting the Field Spell. Gargoyle. Sending Primera. Crimson Dragon. Gargoyle. And Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon for Cosmic Blazar. And Gargoyle back to hand. Deception. Tribute LZ Azamina for Hollowed Azamina. Hollowed for Elia Sylvia. Stand Up. And one set. Deception. Reset. Auxila. Placing back Primera. Her sword on Auxila. Afterburners. Elia Sylvia with the save. LZ Azamina. Free special. Normal array. Does not use Blazar there, so he's smart. Sky Striker AZ. Blazar, negate the summon. And that's pretty much it because Blazar comes back and then it's lethal next turn. For game 3, with this hand, this is basically back and forth. Field Spell, set. Hornet Drones, normal Sylvie. Sylvie for Woes. Field Spell, multi-roll Widow Anchor. Getting multi-roll. Activated. Multi-roll, sending Field Spell. Field Spell for Ray. Synchro into Diabell. Set 1. Hornet Drones into Shizuku. Shizuku search for Startup Engage. And pass. Trat. Glossed out Trat for the Lurie. Lurie discarded. Free special. Lurie for Requiem. Deception. Diabell sending Shark Cannon for Ursula. Ursula sending multi-roll for LZ. Requiem. Cool. For Fiendsmith's Engraver. LZ Azamina. Sylvie. Return. Ursula. And then we got Woes covered just in case. Sylvie for Tails. That is unless opponent makes Barn, so that Woes is not covered. Barn, spot removal. Woes attempt. Barn negate the Woes. Sending LZ Azamina for Diabell Star. Diabell Star for Wanted. Tails for OG LZ. Normal Primera. Getting Stand Up. Stand Up. Sending LZ for Gargoyle. Gargoyle free special. Stand Up. Synchro into Auxila. Auxila and Gargoyle. To the hand it goes. Auxila for Wake Up. Engraver. Return Lurie. Requiem, hook it up. Requiem, send it to Ray, comes back. Ray tag out into Kaina, blocking the attack of Auxila. Deception sends it anyway for Hollowed Azamina. Hollowed Azamina for Elia Sylvia. The set wanted, of course. Hollowed Azamina. Return LZ Azamina, bring it back. That was a crash. Diabell Star over Kaina. Baron over Diabell. Dark Sylvie over OG Sylvie. And pass. Foolish Goods. Toss out Cursed. Cursed for Original. Switch with Cursed. Startup Engage. Elia Sylvia negates Startup Engage. LZ. OG LZ. Sending Cursed. Special getting Rusia. Cursed for Broken. Sylvie. Return Diabell. Synchro into Ursula. Ursula send Broken for LZ Azamina. LZ Azamina summon herself. Rusia summon herself. Diabell getting Startup Engage. LZ Azamina getting Susurus. Rusia sending Susurus, drew into Shark Cannon. Susurus, reset button. 2 lights into Azalea. Azalea kill off stand up. Startup Engage. Getting Widow Anchor. Drew into Ray. Azalea into Kagari. Kagari getting Startup Engage. Startup Engage. Getting Widow Anchor. Drew into Ray. Shark Cannon, the LZ. Widow Anchor, the Baron. Widow Anchor, the Diabell Star. $25, $29, lethal. And what a set. What an unbelievable set this is. And as for this deck list, I don't know how he somehow made it super consistent in a clean 40, but okay, this is crazy, but I'm digging this list. I'm digging it. But otherwise, this has been James Polk with the unique PvP matches to showcase. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And if you are a new player to Master Duel or returning player after 1 full month of missing gameplay, be sure to use my campaign code in the description below so we can gather more prizes for the campaign content. Catch you guys next time, and a big thank you to my homie Quinn for test playing as always. Catch you guys next time.